Hello and a very good evening and welcome to the Hampden Netball Show on this Wednesday night. Great to have your company and it's great to have my partner in crime back. I looked at the views last week and I think I need to have someone because the views were at an all-time low. So maybe they watch you, Trish Butters, as I welcome you this evening.
No, it's good to be back. On camp last week and hopefully that will be it now.
yeah, it's a busy time, isn't it, this year with camps and open nights and all that sort of stuff. For the
pretty lucky,
teachers.
actually. A lot of the kids who are on camp have ended up with COVID positive, so
you've done
I'm lucky I'm back.
Have you had it before?
I had in Jan.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That's a while ago.
Yep, very good. No, it's great to have you back and looking forward to another big show this evening. Now, before we do, we must thank our all-important major sponsors, Power Call, Lindock Living, McDonald's and SunGold Fresh Local Milk. Great supporters of the program and of the Hampden Football Netball League, and we'll highlight a few more of the sponsors later on in the program as well, including Miss Kit, who we allocate our Miss Kit Player of the Week as well. And this young girl from Cobden was absolutely sensational, so I'm looking forward to announcing that $25 gift voucher from Miss Kit a little bit later on. We're going to go to the Zoom straight away and catch up with our first Hamilton Kangaroos person of the season. I've been trying to get Coach Nat O'Day for a couple of weeks and we're going to get there. We're going to get there. She's had a bit of babysitting problems and I think she's been a little bit sick over the last couple of days as well. She said she had no voice, so might have been yelling too much in the game against South Warrnambool. But we've got the skipper of the Hamilton Kangaroos Open Division Netball team, Emma Somerville. Em, thanks for joining us tonight. Really appreciate your time.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Hey, great to see the Somerville name back in the Hampton League competition. I reckon, I'm not sure whether it was you or maybe both you and Callie, your sister, but I know there was one that played for Port Fairy a couple of seasons ago, but it's great to see the Somerville name back in the Hampton Football Netball League.
It's great to be back. We did both play for Port Fairy at one point, so yeah, it's good to be back in here.
So where else have you played, Emma? So you did Port Fairy and obviously you've been playing somewhere. So where else have you played over the last few years?
Yeah, we've been playing for Glen Thompson Dunkeld for the last couple of years. Yeah.
So what got you back to the Hamilton Kangaroos? Obviously, I guess Hampton League side, probably the closest to Glen Thompson Dunkeld. Was it, obviously Nat O'Day coming on board and trying to get you into the lineup? Was it you guys wanting to come back and play maybe a higher level of netball again, or?
It was probably a bit of both. I think we were kind of missing playing like that. VNL is sort of where we've played a lot of. We just wanted to kind of get back into it. There was a lot of discussion with Nat and a few other girls, the Carnies and Eve Duckmanton, that we've played a lot of netball with, that we're really excited to see back at the Roos. So, there was a few factors in there and we're just really excited to be back and hopefully, bring back Hamilton into kind of showcase the netballers around the region and also just to really reiterate our junior program and what we're trying to achieve there.
So you certainly did that on the weekend, pushing the strong South Warrnambool team on 45-36. So while you'd be disappointed with the win because everyone wants to win, but pushing them to 9 goals I think was a huge achievement. How did you find the game, Emma?
We were really happy with that. That's the first time we've had our full side together on the court, and we haven't really had a lot of training together as well. We were really, really happy. It's my first full game as well, so I was happy to get through that. And as a team, there's a lot of positives that we took out of it, a lot of things that we know that we're going to work on now. It's probably a bit late in the season for us to really be hitting our strides and actually getting our full side on the court. But we're really happy with it.
I was just going to say, we probably haven't had the real great sample size of you guys yet because I guess with injuries, illness, unavailabilities, we probably haven't had that real good look at what Hamilton's actually capable of. Because I think on paper, and I said at the start of the year, I think you guys are a top 5 side when you're up and going, got your full side going. So it was good to see you finally get that side together and obviously push a really, really strong South Warrnambool unit.
Yeah, certainly. It was really, really nice to just have all of us there together. We, like I said, we still had a few people that were probably not 100% on the court, myself included. But yeah, just another thing that we know that we're working on. And yeah, we can't wait to get to that 100% and be really stringing together 4 quarters.
So how is the injury? I guess you and Kelly both had calf problems. I think it might be the new Achilles this year. I've heard another calf problem on the weekend. How is the injury going? Are you nursing it along, or are you back to 100%?
I'm still doing a lot of rehab, as is Cal, but feeling really good and really confident in them. Cal's was nowhere near as bad as mine, which was really good. But yeah, in all, feeling really good and ready to get back out there, be back out there on Saturday and back into trainings and all of that now at 100%.
Just looking at your lineup, and I look at the South Warrnables and the Cobdens, and you look at their lineup, and their players are so versatile. You know, whether Plan A is not going the way they want, they can go to Plan B, Plan C, where they can mix up their lineup and so forth. Do you guys have that sort of capabilities as well, or are you more set in your positions, or have you got a bit of flexibility with your lineup and where you can play a number of players?
No, we've got a lot of flexibility. Like we've got, Eve was playing wing defence on the weekend with some beautiful long arms over the passes and really cut off that wing attack drive, but she's also a shooter. Same with Claire and Hayley. They can switch between wing attack, goal attack. We've also got Lisa Aradell that can run through the centre or into wing defence and wing attack. And we've got a lot of defensive options where Hayley is playing goals but can also go into defence. Got Alicevia, who's our junior training partner. She's a goaler and a defender. And we can always shift Cal down into defence when we've got those other girls as options through the centre court. So yeah, we've got a heap of versatility, and it's just been unfortunate that we haven't had a lot of chances all together where we can really play around with that and make some changes. Say when we played on the weekend, we didn't make that many changes, but we certainly have a lot more up our sleeve. And I know coming out of that game, there was a lot of things that I was thinking, I wish we had tried this combo, I wish we had have done that. But obviously those decisions are a little bit hard to make under pressure and when we haven't all played together.
Yep.
And I guess the thing is, first time back in the league for a little while and coming up at one of the strongest teams, obviously, at the moment. It takes a little while to you've seen all the teams and played right through round one, and you look for better things in the second half of the season. You mentioned Ellie Saville. What other juniors have you got coming along there? We know lots of teams have putting juniors up, giving them a bit of a go, giving them a taste at open level. What sort of other juniors have you got through there?
We've got quite a few. I probably couldn't name them all that are coming up. Ella's the only one in our open side that's our kind of junior. She's a training partner. And yeah, we've throughout all of the divisions, we've got quite a few coming through. It's something that I know myself as a player, I really like to go and get to the juniors. Obviously, being injured and focusing more on that a little bit, and myself, I haven't been able to do that yet, but as a senior player, I really like to get out there and help the juniors and even work throughout the divisions as well. We work together with Div 1 particularly. So on the sideline, I was helping a lot when I was injured with those girls, and that's been really nice, and it's been a really good way to get back into the club and into the league and see all the other teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Emma, one last one before we let you go, and we really do appreciate your time on this Wednesday night. I'm looking at the ladder, and even though you guys have only won the one game, you're only 2 games out of the 5, so it just shows you how tight the competition is. So I guess finals are still very much on the radar for you guys, and now with a full side, and hopefully you get that synergy with, I guess, a bit of a new playing group. Certainly that's still a goal for the team.
Oh, definitely. We're still aiming for that top 5. We just need to get into the finals after a bit of a rough start, and yeah, that's well and truly a goal. We know it's a really tight competition. I'm not great with the teams just yet, still trying to wrap my head around them all. But yeah, that's certainly on the radar for us, and it's something that we're really striving for this season.
Hey, been great to catch up with you, Emma. Really appreciate your time on the Netball Show, and best of luck for this weekend coming up against the Cobden Bombers, but the year ahead as well.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Emma Somerville, the skipper of the Hamilton Kangaroos, and high quality netball. Her and her sister Kelly. I remember when I was working for 3HA covering the sport, and you'd see these girls always in those higher level Vic squads, whether it was the underage 17s or 19s or training partners to some of the other competitions. They're good.
You can tell that by the way she speaks. She's played at a high level. She knows what she's on about. Love to see her play. The day I went up to watch Hamilton, or both days, neither of the girls were playing.
Yep.
So I really look forward to seeing them out there in the court and see what they have to bring.
And I think the next couple of weeks are going to be pretty important for them.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cobden this week's not an easy task,
No.
but if they can get that full side together and do what they did against South Warrnambool and really start building a bit of momentum, you know, the ladder suggests that they're still well and truly able to play finals. Like only 2 games out, like it's not much.
Oh, it's pretty tight, and as we know, clubs are suffering with COVID and the flu.
It's a bit of luck, isn't it?
It's luck who you come up against. So they've got Cobden this week, then they've got, just looking here, Camperdown, Port Fairy, and then they're back to the start again. So I think they'll be looking to slot in those last 2 games and start their second round, you know, with 3 wins.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're still in it then.
Hey, great round of matches. Round number 5 last weekend in the Hampden football. Or actually, round number 6. I'm cheating ourselves a week here. Round number 6 in the Hampden Football Netball League last weekend. Let's go to some of the highlights of the matches, and there were some terrific games that we did get to witness. South Warrnambool and the Hamilton Kangaroos. The Roosters getting the job done by 9 goals. Holly Phillips named best on court for the Roosters, whilst Claire Crawford was named best for the Kangaroos.
Yeah, interesting. Like it would have been a big game for Holly, up against her old side. So I'm sure there was a bit of feeling in that game, and she'd be really keen to play really well. Now South Warrnambool were without Annie Blackburn, and I was sick again. So, you know, it just shows the depth of South Warrnambool that they can cover an Annie Blackburn. Slot Olivia Maris in there. Olivia didn't shoot, as she only got 9 goals, but when you've got Holly Phillips in there shooting 36 goals, you just have to feed her.
You just got to play that helping hand, don't you?
Yeah. So, you know, Hamilton has obviously done a really good job, though, at doing that stop-start through the centre there. And took it right up to them.
Karoi took on the Camperdown Magpies, and the Magpies gave a good showing here, 56-40 against a very, very good side. Nell Mitchell certainly playing a great game there, whilst Laura Burke was named best for the Camperdown Magpies. And I guess looking at the scoreline, it was probably that third quarter where the Saints scored 20-11, so that was probably where they made their break.
And it's good to see Nell back at the top there, getting her 3 votes and shooting her 38 goals, which, you know, we come to expect Nell to do, and she hasn't been doing it over the last few weeks, so I'm really glad to see her with confidence back, because that's a really good sign for Karoi as well.
You look at Karoi, Dobson, Baker, Mitchell, pretty good lineup, and they've got that flexibility too in the girls' circle.
We had Shelby O'Sullivan play her first
wasn't
open
that
game
great?
as a 13-year-old.
Absolutely, great story. The O'Sullivan
great
name
story.
continues.
Yeah.
North Warrnambool took the points against Terang Mortlake, 54-42. Good win there by the North Warrnambool Eagles. Really needed to put some pressure on, I guess, probably a couple of lean weeks, and I know they've had some injuries and COVID-related issues. Maddie Smet's named best on court for the Eagles, and Jackie Arundel for the Bloods.
Yeah, I know North appreciated having everyone back and available. Not all totally 100% well, but out there and playing really well. And we saw Maddie Smets of old playing through the centre court, and her drive down the court, and just, I guess it's her presence and her intimidation around the ring. She took so many intercepts, and her passes in. So in the last quarter, North brought on a lot of juniors, rested a few players who were getting a bit tired. They've had quite a bit of illness out there. And the girl that won to watch was Emily Saffin. Came on into goal shooter, and Maddie shot some bullets into her. She took them, and I thought, yeah, you're going to be okay.
And the final game we've got highlights of were the Cobden Bombers and the Warrnambool Blues. And I must admit, this was a bit of a surprise for mine. 67-34 the scoreline. I thought it might have been a lot closer. Remedy McCann named best on court. Molly Hutt obviously playing a great game with 34 goals. Jessica Boucher, 33 goals as well. So nice little replacement for Emily Finch.
Absolute gun. I mentioned her the other week. I saw her at 17 unders, and I said, yep, there's your third goalie. And she's quick and she's smart, and would play really well with Molly, who loves to take people on the wings. She's not an old girl, but she's got an old head. She's played for a long time. Cobden were always going to be hard to beat when they got there. Have been down the last few weeks. I was talking to Raywin Pimoko on Saturday afternoon, and she said, it was a bad day at the office.
Yep.
It was one of those days where nothing went right for Warrnambool.
Yep.
You have those days, the ball goes the wrong way, they threw it away, and she said it's one of those days to forget, to be honest.
They've had a tough 2 weeks, haven't they? They had the Roosters, and then they've had the Bombers. But I'll tell you what, even though you'd be disappointed not getting the 4 points, there's so many learnings you can take out from it.
Yep.
And I know when we spoke with Raywin last week, she was already said, they took a lot away from the Roosters game. I'd imagine the same thing here with the Bombers.
And big out with Sarah Cowling. She's out.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, that's their centre court line.
Yep.
So now they need to find somebody to replace her. I see Sarah Smith moved into there, and then you replace your wing. So it does upset your game for a bit, and so it'll take a little while to settle. And they've come up with a couple of hard opponents for these 2 weeks.
And the last game we do have a score for, unfortunately no highlights. The Portland Tigers, their form's been pretty good the last few weeks. 69-34 against a young Port Fairy side, and Port Fairy's first win, it won't be far away. They're playing some good netball in patches. It's just a matter of putting it together. But really impressed with the Tigers here.
Absolutely. And we had Heidi Jones shooting 36 at one of our young guns from last year.
Yeah, she was
and Jessica Crow back, who didn't play the week before, or the week North played them, 33 each. So that's hard to beat. We've got 2 really good goalies. Great to, and I think Port Fairy's been well and truly hit with illness over there as well. So they've got depth, but probably more older players that are, and they're starting to build their juniors in. It's going to take a little bit of time there.
Absolutely.
But
great to see, Tessa Allen named best on for the Seagulls, and Liv Courtley, it's a name that we highlighted her quite a fair bit last year as well. So,
a new player to the league,
so obviously having her is going to give them some good impetus.
And Jacqueline Peargrove for Portland, best on, and I saw her play, and she's such a strong player, either in goal defence or goalkeeper. She really, she just controls the court, so she's very hard to get around to.
And you think, obviously Tara Elliott, that's a tough matchup.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a tough matchup. You're going to be in for a day.
Yeah.
When you've got someone who plays that really physical game, but also a smart game as well, because Jacqueline's been around for a little while and knows the netball court pretty well.
Yeah, she's hard to beat.
So let's look at the ladder after round 6. So the Roosters are on top, undefeated. Croyd's second position on 18 points. Then on 16 points, just due to percentage, we've got the Cobden Bombers and the Warrnambool Blues. North Warrnambool round out the top 5 on 14 points. Now it's pretty tight from after that. You've got the Tigers, who have had 3 wins, sitting in 6th position on 12 points. Terang, Mortlake and Camp are down on 8 points apiece. The Hamilton Kangaroos on 4, and unfortunately, not yet, but soon, the other Seagulls have yet to register their first win. But again, as we said with the Hamilton game, with our guest Emma, they're only,
Yeah, well,
10 points away, 2.5 wins.
We haven't finished the round. You wouldn't. They may get 2 more wins, get it back into 3. You're up in there. And North has got South and then Cobden.
Yep.
You've got some big roll-ups. So they seem to follow one another.
They do.
And anyone has to play them. Doesn't really like playing 2 of them 2 weeks in a row, but that's the way the draw's gone, unfortunately, for most people. But I think, as I said before, that it's a bit of a luck when...
absolutely, because COVID, flu, injuries, it's all taking its toll on a lot of clubs at the moment. So, their lineups are going to be a little bit scattered from what their best lineup looks for. And I guess, for the team that's coming up against maybe a side that's missing 1 or 2 good players, you've just got to take your opportunity, don't you?
Absolutely do. And the day I was over at Portland, I said to them, have you had any... I said, no, nothing over here. They said, nobody comes here. And I thought, these teams are coming over. So, they've been pretty lucky.
Yeah.
I think most of the Warrnambool teams have been hit pretty solidly.
Yeah.
Bonus for them, though, to look forward to 12 weeks, COVID-free. Hopefully they'll get through the finals now, and they've done it.
Touch wood.
Yeah.
Hey, now before we look at round 7 matches this weekend, and obviously our big WorkSafe match of the month, which is North Warrnambool and the South Warrnambool Roosters. Association champs, how we're looking with teams. I know we spoke about coaches a fortnight ago, that they were in place, training had started occurring. When do we get the final lineups, and when can we unveil those?
Well, we have got them. I don't know if I've got them on me tonight, though.
Yeah.
Really, you
so maybe
sprung
next
that on
week.
me. Yeah, definitely, because
the week of the weekend.
So people might look on their club websites. A lot of clubs are advertising their players that have made our Hampden teams and Warrnambool City teams.
Yep.
So everyone's pretty proud of our netballers around here, and I'm certainly proud of the way they've handled themselves. And just the standard of netball these days just amazes me
Yeah.
every time I go along. So final training will be this Sunday for our girls.
Yep.
I don't know that they'll train before the next week. So they'll have games on
Yeah.
Saturday and then play on the Sunday. So
and that's at the Warrnambool Stadium.
it's at the Warrnambool
And then if we
Stadium.
move on to the next round, that's
It's
Melbourne.
at State Netball and
Yep,
Hockey Centre
lovely.
again back there. We haven't been there for a few years because they were having renovations and COVID and all that, so it'll be great to get back there. I'm told it's all undercover this now, so
Yeah, right.
can't wait for that. No one wanted to play the outside courts,
Oh,
I
I
can
don't
tell
blame
you.
it. It'd be freezing this time
absolutely.
of year. Can I ask you about the senior side? So obviously the senior side doesn't
Yeah.
play association champs; it goes straight to the
They don't
Melbourne
play the
League.
qualifiers.
Yep,
They go straight to the final day.
So when do we look at what the
well,
senior side looks like?
do you know what? I was just thinking that this morning. I thought, right, we need to get that organised
Yep.
because as they go straight down, but they need time to try out, to train and get organised. So it's pretty close now. Like
Coaches in place or still?
No, not yet. Not
Yeah,
yet.
right,
Not
okay.
yet. But hopefully I'll announce that next week.
Yeah, lovely. All right, we've got a bit to do next week
Well,
then.
hang on to that.
All right.
But work safe this week.
Yep, fantastic.
Pretty happy. With the netball side of things, we have Norma Plummer coming down.
Former Australian Diamonds coach,
international coach,
international
Australian
superstar.
player, absolutely. And
We did try to get her on tonight.
Yeah, we did try and
but I
get
think
Norma
technology
on.
might have just been a bit of an issue there.
Yeah.
So,
But Thursday night she'll be out at the North Warrnambool courts training with the girls or
Yep.
helping. And then again on Saturday, both clubs will have that opportunity. She'll be on the sidelines helping coaches. So
How
what a
good's
great
that?
opportunity is that. And the footy side, I guess
yeah.
we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
in the
Leon,
footy team,
obviously
but-
Leon Cameron
and-
coming down.
and Tom Boyd.
And Tom Boyd as well from the Western Bulldogs.
So what a great
WWS.
opportunity.
Oh, sensational.
We were
Yeah.
only actually talking last weekend to the last time that the North Warrnambool girls, they played Koroit, and it was Julie Coletto and
Oh, yeah.
Laura Geitz came down.
Oh, gee
Imagine
whiz.
that, as young girls had just started off
Yeah.
and their
And then
netball
look what they've
careers.
done.
Yeah, so it was super. I mean,
Yeah,
they were so
it's
good.
great.
So
It's going to be a great day
it's
out
a
at
great
Bushfield
thing.
as well,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
great for the league to
Yeah.
be recognised for that
Hopefully
much
get
of the
good
month.
weather. I
Yeah,
haven't looked ahead.
touch wood again. All right, let's look at our first game, North Warrnambool and the South Warrnambool Roosters. The Roosters are undefeated on top. The Eagles are just holding on to fifth position by half a
Absolutely
game. Good challenge for the young Eagles. But the Roosters, if you get Annie Blackburn in there and they get through unscathed with any other players not taking their place, they're a formidable lineup.
Oh, they are formidable lineup. And, Annie being an ex-North Warrnambool girl, she always plays 200% against North. We love Annie. But you know what? I think if North needs to put everything together on the day to beat them, and they could beat them, but I don't think they're ready to do that yet. I think it's still developing, getting their team sorted, getting right positions. I think South are well along the track with that, and I think they will be in. I think it'll be closely though, to be honest.
Loving the season of Meg Kelson too. Just very unheralded, and I know, probably not getting the external acknowledgements, but the internal acknowledgements that I'm hearing from Meg Kelson and the year she's had. Been phenomenal. So
externally for me, yes, 2 votes again. And I saw her play the first week, and I thought, Meg, that's just awesome.
Yep.
So for a girl who was probably a bench player last year, to come and take centre and hold that, starting 7, taking over from. Ali O'Connor. I was going to say
You
Annie.
nearly lost weight there.
Nearly lost it. Ali O'Connor. What a great thing for her to do, and they haven't been able to push her out.
Yep.
So when you keep playing well, other people can't take your spot. So.
She's going super.
Absolutely.
Hamilton Kangaroos in Cobden. Again, another challenge. The Kangaroos were very, very good for, I guess, 3 quarters against the Roosters. Probably that third term that probably hurt them a little bit, where they got outscored 10-6. But as Emma said, they get that synergy going a little bit more again this week, and hopefully, the fitness of a few players is increasing as the week goes on. They'll push them.
Oh yeah, and I think all they can look at is how do we improve our structures and get into Cobden's head, I guess. So you can only play your sort of game, and hopefully that's good enough. But build on to next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Port Fairy take on Koroit. I guess the clash of the coastal, or the nearby towns, the arch rivals there. I guess you just want Port Fairy to be really competitive and try and play as much as 4 quarters of netball that they can. And Koroit, well, they're just stringing things together nicely at the moment.
Yeah, they certainly are, and they've got a few back. Dobson.
Rachel?
Help me. Oh, God, my brain's gone. Rachel Dobson has been back the last few weeks. They've played their juniors. They're doing all the right things, Koroit. And as we know, they always keep building. So, yeah, they'll be too strong.
Be interested to see whether young Shelby gets a bit more time this week as well, obviously against a younger side, and if the
Yeah.
court are going okay,
It's a good idea.
giving her a bit more court time because, she's an O'Sullivan. They've got a lot of talent in that family, both
She's very
football and
talented
netball.
And very smart.
Yeah.
I've seen that girl with a netball since she's 2 or 3 on the courts and can do things that, 10-year-olds can't do. So it doesn't surprise me in the least.
I love it. Camperdown take on the Warrnambool Blues, and the Blues, they'll be keen to get bounced back after a couple of losses against 2 very good sides. But in saying that, Camperdown are not doing anything wrong either. They're very competitive against the Croydon Saints.
Yeah, this will be an interesting game.
Yeah.
As I said, no Sarah Cowling. So it is going to take Warrnambool a little bit to cover that and get their structures right again. In saying that, we've got Amy Wormald that I don't know that Camperdown have the height to contend with this. So I will be going for Warrnambool, but I reckon it'll be a tight one.
Yeah, I do too. And the last game, and this is probably nearly match of the round for mine, besides probably the North Warrnambool South game, is Portland taking on Terang Mortlake. I reckon this is going to be a ripper.
Might have been. Unfortunately, Terang Mortlake had an injury on the weekend. They lost their goal shooter.
Oh, Ebony Knights.
Ebony Knights did her calf, had a tear in her calf. That's why I say it's a new Achilles this year.
Yeah.
It's the 3rd one this year.
Yeah.
So she'll be out for a few weeks.
So then
Big loss there.
maybe Ree Davis goes back into the goal shooting circle. So not a bad little replacement there. Like we know Ree's, on her day, been very, very lethal.
Oh, and she did, that happened in the first few minutes of the game on the weekend.
Yeah.
Jackie Arundel stepped up. She played a great game. I forgot to talk about her. I was really amazed by Jackie. Beautiful shooter. And her and Ree work really well together. But it does make them vulnerable in their goalkeeping ring.
Yeah.
They brought May Sewin up, and May did a great job, but had to play 2 games. So she's always going to be tired.
Yeah.
So I imagine, Sharon will be working that around who is going to be that person that steps into goalkeeper now to replace her. And we know Portland have got a tall goal shooter.
Yeah, and Heidi Jones, good youngster as well.
Yeah, unless they can find another goalie that they could bring in, that could be a good option and put Ree. So it's about that matchups and trying to find the right matchups.
I must admit, we've seen Hamilton play grand finals and be really competitive in the Open Division there, but we probably haven't seen the best of Portland since they've joined the league. Wouldn't it be a great story if they were a team that maybe featured in the finals this year? Just a different face. They're doing everything right at the moment, playing really well under the new coach. You've got some really good, nice players that have come into the side. Heidi Jones is a player that's really probably enjoyed that year of development last year in the Open Division. Remy Grant's a good player. Zion, there's a lot to like about the Tigers.
And they're playing their juniors and they're getting them experience. Talia Barr in goal defence. Look, she's a gun of the Maddie Stone in wing defence. And then they have Jackie Pigrose there who can, is the experienced player up that in with them. I'm amazed by their improvement since last year.
Yeah. It's good, isn't it?
It'd be 100%. Yeah.
Good for the league.
I think they'll win.
Yep. Awesome. Tigers, maybe 4 and 3.
Yeah, well, they could be in the 5. North get beaten, they're in the 5.
Yeah.
So a big thing for them to win this week.
Yeah, it's going to be a big couple of weeks coming up, I think.
Absolutely.
Just that might start telling us a few stories about who's going to be the ones that are going to be there and so forth. So now looking forward to round 7 of the Hampden Football Netball League this weekend. The WorkSafe game of the month, as we said, North Warrnambool will take you on the Roosters. If you're looking for a great day out, Norma Plummer, Leon Cameron, Tom Boyd, they're all going to be out there and go and enjoy their company and say good day, get an autograph and have a yarn, because that's what they're there for. That's what we've got them there for. So it's going to be terrific. Selfie, that's going to be huge. There'll probably be a lot of Instagram hits on the weekend, no doubt. Yeah. Hey, we must thank all of our sponsors. So obviously, Lindock Living, Power Core, SunGold Milk, and also Carter Group. We've got Chittix Pies, the official pie of the Hampden Football Netball League. Miss Kit, Joe DeLay, sponsor of the MVP Award, and also our weekly award. Now, our weekly award winner, and I did get a chance to watch a bit of this, and I was really impressed, and the feedback I had was pretty tight for the Cobden game. But Molly Hutt is going to be our Miss Kit MVP weekly winner, so she'll get a $20, $25 gift voucher from Miss Kit in Kangaroos Street in Warrnambool, and played a lovely game and really stepping up into the shoes of Emily Finch, who's gone down injured. So well done to Molly. So you'll get a chance to go and get an eyebrow tint or a tan or whatever it may be, whatever service you want to use.
You know too much, Hilly.
Oh, I know. I've had to do my research. So well done to Molly.
Molly, and well deserved. Molly's been a stalwart at that club for a long time.
And Mrs. Hutt as well in the
Oh,
canteen.
Janine.
Led the charge there beautifully. Very, very well looked
Yeah.
after as well. So it
Great
was absolutely
person.
terrific. Frolic Bar, QX3, just a name of a number of our sponsors that are great supporters of the Hampden Football Netball League, that is for sure. Trish, feels like we've been on forever, but it's only been a short time.
Yeah,
It's been
yeah.
great to talk netball with you again. And next weekend, we're going to have a big week. Obviously, Hampden Netball Round 8 on Saturday, and then Association Champ
On the
qualifiers
Sunday.
on the Sunday. So big
Might need a rest on the Monday.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend. If you're looking for a great day out, work safe, game of the month. North Morton will take you on the South Morton Roosters. Hope you enjoyed the show. We look forward to seeing you next Wednesday night.